Hi, my name is Bonnie, and I felt to do a video about our society and how to raise a girl. And I found that in so many times and in so many places that black women have so many hang-ups about themselves, particularly with how they look. Everything every day seems to be like a fight. When people think you're beautiful, then you prove that you're smart, and when you prove that you're smart, then you need to prove that you're talented, and there's just always something that you need to be striving for and trying to rise up to. And I know there's so many human needs, but I feel that the basic need of a human being is to be seen. Because before I know that you love me, I need to know that you see me. Because if you don't see me, then how do I know that you love me? Hagar, that might be how they say it, when she was in the desert and God spoke to her, she said, "You're the God that sees me," which means it's so important for a person to be seen, for a woman in particular to be seen. But in our society, we're the background of everything that is happening around us. And for some reason, black women seem to be at the bottom of the pile. When we talk about beauty, we always seem to be last. If you put other races and you put us in it, we always seem to be chosen last, or to be seen last, or to be recognized last in that scenario. And this is not me trying to get people mad at other races, or other races to feel condemned, or to feel like I'm not saying anything against them. All I'm saying is that how can we change how we feel about ourselves, how we see ourselves? I walk into malls, and I remember speaking to one young lady at Pick n Pay, and she said, "Oh, you have such a beautiful daughter. You're so lucky." And I said to her, "Why am I lucky?" Because she's beautiful. And she said to me, "Because she's more like her dad." So I said to her, "Why? Is it because I'm not beautiful?" And she said to me, "Yeah, but you're beautiful, but the dad's white." So I said to her, "But I'm confused. What do you mean that's a good thing?" She said, "Oh, you see, I'm colored, but my mom's colored and my dad is black. Unfortunately, I've got my dad's side of the family, or my dad's side of the genes." And it bothered me so much. I tried to speak to her and try and make her see. And I said to her, "Look, I don't see myself as less advantaged. I'm a beautiful woman." And I know this also because it has been a journey for me to reach to a point where I say I am beautiful just as I am. And I can imagine how many women out there, if I walk into a shop and people tell me, "Oh, you're so lucky your daughter's mixed. Look at that hair, she's going to have such beautiful hair. And look at that skin tone, she has a beautiful skin tone because she's lighter." And I'm thinking, why is it better? Why do we see other people better than us? What is it about us that makes us feel that we're not beautiful, or we're not talented enough? I've spoken to people who say, when I say to them, "But you're so good at what you do, why don't you open a business?" And they say, "But I'm not white, I wouldn't even know where to start." Only like white people can create businesses, but not black people. So I think it's more of a mentality that we need to shake off as Africans, because how you see yourself as well. The world can see you eventually, but the world will never see you until you see yourself. And I mean, I've been through times where I cried in front of the Lord, where I cried and I cried, and I said to him, "But what is it about us that the world seems to hate?" Because I see people being killed, people being shot, and no one seems to be paying attention. And when people raised banners to say Black Lives Matter, some people said, "Well, all lives matter." When their children are not being gunned down, and I'm not trying to politicize this. What I did was I went to the Lord and I said to him, if you didn't make me, tell me, because I want to know if maybe that was the devil's sin. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I was there in my life where I said, if I am the devil's sin, the entire continent, maybe that's what the devil was trying to do. He tried to become like God, so then he created black people. Maybe that's why we've been hated and pushed aside for centuries. And it's kept us from realizing our potential. Okay, not everyone, because we have fighters, but the people that don't know how to fight, they seem to be left behind, and there's nothing that they can do, and they seem to be swallowed by their circumstances. You know, and I feel the Lord, I felt him rebuke me and say, how dare you? How dare you even think like that I see you the way the world sees you? How dare you equate me to the things that people say? How dare you make me be like the people that said bad things about you? How dare you think that I'm the one who tells them to say these things? How dare you think that I'm the one who pushes them to do these things? I mean, I gave you people free choice. And how you choose to treat each other is not my choice, it's yours. So it got me thinking, but I was still confused. And I had so many questions, and if you're like me, you make questions out of questions out of questions, and you analyze the questions, like break them down and completely and you end up going crazy because you're going around and round and making little circles and making little errors to try and explain everything that is going on around you. And I know most people, in everything that is going on, they're saying, where is God? You ask yourself, where is God? Why isn't he fighting for me? Why is my Lion of Judah? You know, the same spirit that made Esther walk into the king's chambers and demand to be seen and demand to be heard. Where is that? You know, the same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead. Because he's so powerful. God is so powerful. And I see people falling left, right, and center. I struggle to find my place in the world, because either I need to apologize for who I am, for being born black, or I need to keep explaining the texture of my hair, the tone of my skin. I need to keep explaining myself. Why? You know, and I had all these questions, and it kept driving me completely crazy. I think the only thing that kept me sane was that I wasn't asking people these questions. I was asking God. Every time I had a question in my mind, every time something bothered me, I went to him to say, what is going on? What is happening? Because I was saying to him, I need my Lion of Judah. I need you to come and fight for me. I need you to turn things around for me. And he said to me, go read Songs of Solomon. I went and read it. And I came back to him. I was like, oh, I read all 8 chapters. Now what? And he said to me, clearly you're not getting it, so go back and read it. So I went and I read it again. And then it clicked. The woman that Solomon is describing is the most beautiful woman that he has ever laid eyes on. And this is a man who had about 300, I stand to be corrected, 300 wives and 700 concubines. I don't know what he did with 100 women, but yeah, that's his business. But he had 300 wives, 700 concubines, and he met this woman, and he was mesmerized. That he writes about her beauty, about her hair, about how great and amazing she is in his sight. And the Lord said to me, I chose a dark-skinned woman to play the role in my book that nobody else can touch, but a book that I chose what to put in it. I could have said something else, but I said she is dark, she is beautiful. Don't you see that I knew everything that was going to happen. Everything you have gone through as a nation, as a people, I knew was going to happen. And I know what's going to happen in the future. Because I am God. I have no concept of time. It is all in my hands. And I still chose to make you. I chose. When he said to me, I chose to make you. I stopped. I paused for a minute. And I took it in, because he said he chose to make me. Regardless of how I'm going to feel. Regardless of how I'm feeling at this moment. Regardless of everything I've ever been through. He chose me because he sees me. So in this journey that I'm still continuing, learning about my place in God's kingdom, my place in this world. And he said to me, you are my sweet fragrance. That's the word he gave me. You are my sweet, sweet fragrance. So if he can look at me and say all these beautiful things to me, he can say to you, all you need to do is just ask him. Say to him, Father God, what is it that you see in me? Because you chose that I come into this world as I am. So what do you see? The things that no one else sees. And let him show you. Let him tell you. To ask a group of women to join me. And I said to them, go pray and ask God how he sees you. To give you a word or a sentence. But I want you to come back with what he says he sees in you. And they all came back with something. They all came back so excited. You know, they were so excited because some of them had not asked God for themselves. You know, when we pray more for other people as women than we pray for ourselves. And they got to pray for themselves and they got to see themselves through the Father's eyes. And I believe that's the most precious thing you can ever ask for. So I urge you, I implore you to go do the same thing. To sit down and say, Lord, what do you see? Father, what do you see in me that nobody else sees? Because when you made me with love. He says, he knitted you together in your mother's womb. Anybody who needs, I have tried, knows the dedication and the art of the whole thing. You have to hold each stitch has to be linked to the next, for it to form something. And that's you. He sent Jesus to come and die for you. To come and redeem you in our sin. Because he loves you. He didn't pick one nation. Jesus said to the Israelites, there is now neither Jew or Gentile. So you are a child of Jesus. You are a child of God because he created you with love. And God is love. And yes, we are a work in progress. We're trying, but we look to Him in all that we are, in all our failures and all our strength, all our triumphs, in all our short-sightedness. He loves us, and He loves you, and He wants and longs for a relationship with you. Can you imagine if He had a relationship with each and every person in this world? We wouldn't have half the stuff we have right now that's going on. So look to Him. Nothing else, no one else. Look to Him. Because you, with your springy hair, He loves you. And focus on the positives. You might look at me and think I'm dark, but when I sit in the sun and I look at my skin and I see little pieces of gold shining through, and I believe it's absolutely beautiful. And you need to reach a point in your life and say, it doesn't matter whether I'm a light black woman or I'm a dark black woman. I am a child of God, and I am beautiful in every way. Enough with calling each other names and saying, oh, she's a yellow bone, so she's pretty. No. Or saying, oh, she has tougher hair. Really? We're still there? We condemn ourselves. He said to me, the words that people speak over you, you carry them and you hold on to them and you let them define you. And he said, stop. That's not what I think of you. You shouldn't think it either. So ask Him what He sees in you. Speak to Him. Thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoy these beautiful women that will come next, that will share their experiences and their hearts. Might not be explained, but just a little piece of themselves that God, the only God, sees until they see.